I have 3 girls. Michaela is the oldest, always been super caring. She was born under a full moon, and she is bright like that moon. Hana, who was born in the sunshine, always kind of checking out for everybody's safety, and stubborn. New skill like riding a bicycle. She was determined she would do it that day. Then Lainey is the youngest.
I was a freshman at Hamilton College in upstate New York. First symptoms that I experienced was the worst headache of my life. I was sitting on the sidelines of a rugby game, and all of a sudden just felt like something was very wrong. My friends immediately rushed me to the ER, where I was diagnosed with a migraine and sent home with some pain meds.
Days passed, Hannah's symptoms worsened. Her mom took her to another hospital where Hannah was diagnosed with a virus. Right before discharge, Hannah's mom noticed that her heart rate was high.
Ran one more test, an echocardiogram, which is basically an ultrasound of your heart. 2 attending doctors came in, and me and mom looked at each other and were like, oh no. And they told us that I was in heart failure, that I was going to be immediately admitted to the ICU, that I had dilated cardiomyopathy. We didn't know we should be afraid. They told us that our family should come into town, but we didn't realize there was a high risk of me dying. Dad came into town, Michaela drove across country.
I mean, we didn't know anything. It seemed inconceivable that one minute she was a student walking around going to class, and then the next minute suddenly we might not be going home.
Hannah spent 2 weeks in the hospital. With an unknown future and treatment plan, she was transferred to another hospital closer to home.
After bouncing in and out of the hospital for about 2 months, the doctors told us that my heart wasn't getting any better. They would put me on the heart transplant list. It was about 2 to 3 months after that, I was in the hospital again because I bounced in and out. And the doctors were concerned that I would not make it to my transplant because, you have no idea how long you're going to have to wait. The decision was made to put in a LVAD. During the LVAD surgery, I had multiple strokes. We don't really know what caused it, but I was in a coma-like state for 3 months.
She initially couldn't move any of her limbs. She couldn't open her eyes. She didn't make any sounds. Slowly, those movements came back.
And when I finally woke up from this coma, I had to learn again how to eat, talk, walk, basically live my life like a normal human being. She lost her sight.
In the midst of Hannah's harrowing recovery, compounded by the stroke's debilitating impact, genetic testing revealed that Michaela was also at risk for the same heart condition.
It turns out that my heart actually was also not working super great. I was put on medication, started on those. Luckily, I responded really well. I definitely had some lifestyle changes. But otherwise, I was pretty lucky to just be able to live my life normally. My sister was really not living life normally with the same heart condition. I got to catch my disease early and make changes and be on medication to hopefully prevent me from the same path that she had to go down. But I'm also grateful to you because you showed me and continue to show me that your disease doesn't define you.
Though Michaela's condition was under control, Hannah's only hope for survival was a heart transplant. She was placed on the waiting list and waited. 6 months later,
in September of 2018, she received the gift. It still makes me cry. You got a brand new heart.
For my first year anniversary of my heart transplant, we hiked 25 miles on the Pacific Crest Trail to honor my donor, who was 25 years old when he passed away. For my 5-year anniversary, named the National Moment of Impact for the American Heart Association. American Heart Association is such an amazing organization, and they helped my family out so much when I was going through my heart journey.
It felt so good to have a resource to go to that I felt like I could trust, that had true science behind it. It felt like we were not alone. We even had seen some of the work and the research dollars of the American Heart Association make change in our own lives.